Greetings, Earth enthusiasts. If you ever wondered about the incredible perspectives our planet has to offer from high above, you're in the right place. I am Dr. Clive Coetzee, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this captivating journey into the world of remote sensing. Welcome. And please remember to like, subscribe to, and share this video. Thank you. For the next set of tutorials, we're going to work on one of my favorite data sets, and that is the Night-time Light Datasets. I find the data set to be of great value and great use. So, how do we access the data set? First, we go to our normal process. We go to the Earth Engine. We go to the data sets, and within the search option, we type in Night-time lights and just the spelling, and we press enter. Now you'll see there will be two data sets. There will be the DMSP data set and the VS data set. Now I'm going to use both of these data sets in these tutorials. But although they are both nighttime lights, they are actually very, very different. And the differences will become apparent as we proceed with these tutorials. There is one or two ways of bringing these two data sets together to create one continuous data set, but that's a little bit tricky, and it has also full of problems. But anyway, we'll get to that. So we left click on each of these data sets, and the data sets will open. Let's just do this again for the other data set. I've uploaded the DMSP. Let's also upload the VS data set. You should have both data sets. I'm just rearranging it so that the DMS is the first one, and the reason it's the first one because it started way earlier in 1992 than the VS one, which only started in 2012. So that's one of the big differences. The other difference is that the DMSP actually ended in 2014, so it doesn't exist anymore. The satellite or the remote sensing sensors, it's not working anymore. Whereas the VS one is still operational up to 2 months ago. So that's the first differences between these two. It's just a period of operation. The next major difference between the two is that the DMSP within the Earth Engine is only available on a yearly basis. However, within the Earth Observation Group, within the source, they are actually available on a monthly basis. But on the Earth Catalog, they're only available on a yearly basis, whereas the VS are available on a monthly basis. So that's difference number two. They've got the same provider, and then obviously they have different unique identifiers. Both are image collections, meaning there's multiple images, and that's self-explanatory given there's multiple dates. Both image collections. In the DMSP, we're going to use the band average vis, average visualization. It's got a minimum value and a maximum value. There's another big difference, is that in the DMSP, the night light intensity in any particular area is capped or is limited to 63. So you have that effect of a large number of top range values capped at 63. Whereas in the VS, we are using the average radiation, but there is no cap per se. There's no upper limit per se. Although it says there's a maximum, it's actually not a maximum. Maximum can be more. So that's another big difference. There are issues about blooming and so forth in terms of the correction of the images, etc., which is another major. And if we visualize the two images next to one another, the differences will become very, very apparent, and therefore it's very difficult to compare the two or to use them in the same image. Nonetheless, the background information on both of them within their particular landing pages, and then as per normal, the starting code to get going with each of these data sets are displayed to the bottom of each landing page. So we're going to open the basic script by utilizing that function with a button under each one, and the basic script should be displayed as per normal. Now, I'm not going to do anything for now. All I'm just going to do is I'm going to highlight and run the two scripts just to make sure that there's fundamentally no problem with the scripts, that the scripts work and the like. Okay, so you'll see that the script indeed work. If it didn't work, there would be error codes in the console window. There's no error codes. The images are displayed. It all looks above board. Layers are displayed for each data set. Okay, but as I said, I'm only interested for my specific region of interest. I'm not interested in any other areas. I'm only interested for my region of interest. So the first thing is I have to load the shapefile of my region of interest. And I'm going to have to do that for each data set. So I go to Asset, and I basically scroll down to where my region of interest is located. And it's called West Coast Vector. In each case, I simply click either on the name of the file or I click on the continuing from adding the regions of interest in both my data. Well, I still have to do this one, so I go to Assets, and let's find my vector file for my region of interest. And there it sits, West Coast Vector. I said I can either double click on the name itself or on the forward arrow. Okay, so now I've got my region of interest via the shapefile loaded in each data set. Now I need to add my code to display my region of interest in my map. I want to center my map around my region of interest, and I want to add my clipping function so that the images are clipped only for my region of interest. For that, I go to my previous code. I simply just copy and paste that code into my new scripts, and I do it for both data sets. Now, importantly, I need to, in the map add layer, it refers to the ROI, and in the clip function, it also refers to the ROI. So I have to make sure that I change the name of my region of interest to ROI in each instance. Otherwise, the code will give me errors. Okay, so in each cases, I have now added the map add layer for my region of interest. I have centered my image around my region of interest, and I'm clipping my images for my region of interest. Remember, I've added the clipping function. Now I have to add the clipping function to my images. Simply just map, and I add the name of the clip function into um, my code where it refers to the image itself. And I just copy and paste. Okay, now remember, I've already included a map center, so I can delete the default map center. Okay, so let's confirm in each case I have added my region of interest. I added the code to say I want my region of interest displayed, and I'm going to center my map around my region of interest with a zoom level of 7. I've included a clipping function and a clipping tool to say that image, clip it for my region of interest. I'm going to leave the dates and all the other stuff as is for now, and I'm just going to run both images. And I should now have two images displayed for my region of interest. One image for my DM SP image for 2010, and I should have a VS image for my region of interest for the 5th month of 2017. And those images are displayed in my layers panel. Okay, so those are standard images. Now, as I said, what I want to do is to say, okay, let's, for instance, compare, because remember there's some overlap. 2014, where the DMSP image or data set ends, and the VS where it starts. So we can look at 2014 potentially as 2012 as a year. Okay, so remember this is monthly data, this is annual data. So in my DM, I'm going to make it 2012, sorry, 2012. As I said, we're going to look at 2012. And remember in the VS, it is 2012, the 4th month. So I'm going to look at 2012. Let's say, let's keep it the 1st month. So I should now have should generate a DMSLP image for 2012 for the whole year, and from the VS side I should have should generate an image for 2012, but only for the 1st month. But it should give an indicative comparison of the two images. So let's run in both cases. Let's run it again. And we should have now two images that in theory should be comparable, although the one is an annual image and the other one is just a monthly image. So let's give it some time. It is busy loading. So there is the VS image, which is the 5th month in 2012. And there is the 2012 DMSP image. Now, just by this, you can see there's some clear differences. In that, if we zoom out, let's say we zoom into this particular area. Let's zoom it in for both areas. They should roughly be in the same area now. Let's just do that and do that. Yeah, you can see the differences between the two data sets. And this is because of all the values that's being capped at 63. And so if we use the inspector tool, let's go to this side. If we click on that, you'll see it will be a 61 value. If we click on that particular area, it will also be a 61. If we click on that particular area, it's a 58. So if we click now the inspector tool roughly on the same area, you'll see in this case it's a 24 value. So roughly the same location, but they have significantly different DN values. The DMSP generally have a much higher night light intensity value for a particular area compared to the VS, and that is simply because of the instrument that the different satellites use to measure night light intensity. So that gives you a quick introduction into the two nighttime light data sets, the basic codes to access the images, and then to clip those images for your particular region of interest. And also just a quick comparison of the two data sets roughly for the same period, but you can see the differences. And we can do it again, let's say for 2013 to just make sure that 2012 is not an anomaly, but let's do this for 2013 as well. Remember, the one will be an annual data set and the other one will be a monthly annual image and the other one will be a monthly. So let's quickly run it again, and we should notice, or we should get exactly the same outcome. So there is the DMSP image, nighttime light image for 2013 being loaded, and in this case it is the VS dataset for the 5th month of 2013. So let's quickly zoom in again, roughly for the same um, location within our region of interest. And you can see it's again evident that within the DMSP, the value is much, much higher than within the VS. Interesting if we just toggle between the nighttime light image and the location itself, you can see that the nighttime light mirrors the location of urban areas almost perfectly. You can see there's the town and there's the light. And if we look at the VS one, roughly the same situation. Although, and the difference between these two is what we call the blooming effect. And again, there's another major difference between the two data sets. Okay, so I think let's pause it for now. Remember to save your two scripts because we're going to, in our next video or next tutorial, we're going to continue with the basic script and we're going to add additional images and we're going to export these images, etc., etc. Okay, so thanks for watching again. Remember, if you have any comments or questions, you're more than welcome to email me that, and I'll respond to your um, email as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.